Hello and welcome to the Etoft21sports Show for May 2nd. How is everyone doing? My name is Eric. I'm the man behind Etoft21sports. We have an absolute phenomenal show lined up for you today. My boy XFL Jim is going to come on. Him and I are going to look back at the NFL draft. We're going to tell you our winners, our losers. We're going to have some future bets to lock in. And we're going to tell you some bets to lock in for later on in the week. And as always, Gino's going to come on. He's going to give you his horse racing bet of the day. But you know what? We have the Kentucky Derby this weekend. And Gino is going to tell you what bet to lock in for the Kentucky Derby. But before we jump into all that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching on Twitch. Make sure to hit that follow button. Really helps me out. For those watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Helps me out as well. As always, the Etoft21sports Show is sponsored by the Sharps Betting app. If you are a bettor and not using the Sharps Betting app, you are really missing out. It's an interactive betting app that will allow you to connect with other gamblers. You can track your bets. You can post bets. Phenomenal bet tracking app if you use it. If you don't have it, use the link in this YouTube description, or when you go to it, please use promo code ETOFT. That's ETOFT 499. That way they know old Uncle Rico sent you. Now, it's Derby week. Let's see what Gino has a cooking for us over at Churchill Downs.
Kentucky Derby Saturday. Like always, I'm taking a look at DRF Daily Racing Form for the past performances before I make my wager. DRF.com. That's the place to go. So I really have probably one of the least strong opinions I've had in the last decade or so in the Derby as far as just really liking one horse. There'll be a few horses I use in my exotics. So for this, instead of giving you one best bet, I'm going to give you two horses to use in some exotics. Maybe you play those, throw them into your pick fours or pick fives. If you want to play one of them to win, you can find the better price come Derby day. Throw them into some of your wagers. Let's talk about first, the number 3, Two Phils, who was a really big winner on the synthetic last time out, but his dirt form is not bad at all. That third in the Risen Star was very good. His race before that in Lecomte was also solid. He won at Churchill over a sloppy track. He's got a little versatility to him, and he's heading in the right direction. So Two Phils will be in all of my exotics. The other one, he's the total wild card. A lot of people are high on this horse. He's got a lot of buzz. Derma Sotogake. We have not seen a horse from Japan come over here and win. We haven't seen a horse from the UAE Derby come over here and win the Kentucky Derby. This year, in a race that I don't think is the strongest group, this horse could do it. He's fast, but he can also sit off the pace a little bit. So a couple to use in my exotics and in all of your exotics. The number 17, Derma Sotogake. That horse will be very, very live. He's probably going to be the third or fourth choice in the race. And then we go all the way down to Two Phils, who also thinks another player. So best of luck this weekend for the Kentucky Derby.
As always, please give my boy Gino a follow at It's Me Gino B. Great dude, knows his stuff. Him and I have our daily show, Fast Break Bets, where we tell you guys what to bet in the NBA. Now, let's welcome the man, the myth, the legend, XFL Jim to the show. Jim.
What's up, everybody?
How are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good. I haven't slept a wink in like 3 days. It's so nice.
Really? Why is that, my friend?
I don't know. Busy, moving, XFL. It's been a lot.
Yes, Bobby, WTF, Knicks.
Clap it up. Clap it up for the Knicks.
So bad. So much for that -5. So soft. I agree 100%. They literally, I'm going to go on a rant tomorrow during the Fast Break show. But yeah, they should be up by at least 10 this game. It's the Bucks played with their food, lost to the Heat. Celtics played with their food, lost to the 76ers. Knicks definitely played with their food in this game, and it looks like they're going to win, maybe not cover, though. But we're not here to talk that. We're here to talk some NFL draft, dude. Draft was live, dude. I was there in person. Great time. Have you ever been to a draft before, Jim?
I've never been to a draft. I was present for the live drafts of the USFL and XFL, but I've never been to an actual in-person draft.
The thing I liked about it was hope. There was so much hope in the air with everything going on. That was the one thing that I will take with it. There was just so much hope, excitement. That was my one thing. People were great. I finally got to go to Waffle House, first time in probably 15 years, Jim. That pecan waffle tasted delicious. It was a great time. I'm going to be back there in Detroit next year. You got the invite, my man, if you want to go.
Next year I might be down. I've never been to Detroit.
You know what? First time for everything, my man. Detroit, Rock City. And I just want to let you know, Josh Hart is on the line, a chance to get outside the number right now.
I'm watching it too. I'm watching it too.
What'd you get it at, my man?
I got it at
oh my God, he missed it first.
I got it at 6.5.
Oh, so you're good, man.
Yeah, I got the Heat at plus 6.5.
You are good, dude.
I love the draft for the same reason I love the offseason of college football. It's just pure hope. This is the best time to be a fan of a historically, like a usually down bad team. And for my entire life, for the most part, the Dolphins have been just terrible. But the draft, even for the people who are bad, even for the teams that are bad, it gives you hope. It breathes life into a fandom.
The one thing that stood out for me when I was there was when the Texans traded up to 3, the look on CJ Stroud's face. Like he had no idea what was going on. That was great. Another thing that stood out for me is the pace of the draft goes a lot faster in person than it goes on in TV.
Really? Because it crawls on TV.
I mean, in person, like there was we were well ahead, and like the podium they hadn't even come up on the podium.
Wow.
So like there was times like we were like 3 picks ahead, and the player hadn't even come up yet, or Goodell or whoever hadn't even announced it. That was another thing that stood out to me. The pace of the picks was a lot faster than was portrayed on TV.
So what they give out the picks and then wait to do the 3 picks later, then they'll have the guy from way back when.
There's a screen on it, and it'll say like Texans are on the clock. Okay, and then it clicked down to Cardinals are on the clock, and it hasn't announced that Stroud.
Oh, it just says who's on the clock.
Yeah, it hasn't announced that Stroud's been picked. Then it'll be like a trade has been made. Then it'll switch the Cardinals emblem logo to the Texans. Okay. And then after that, you won't know what you'll know there's a trade, but you don't know what trade has been made. And I just want to say this.
Oh, that makes for some good drama.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on. It was great, dude. It was phenomenal. And if you haven't been there, it is a must for any NFL fan. I really hope you can go there, Jim. And they do have some casinos in Detroit if that's a selling point for you.
That is a selling point. Also,
now,
covered my 6.5 barely. Thank God.
I covered my 6. It is my 5.5. It is all good, my friend.
It's nice that we can both win.
Hey, man, winners win, my friend. Now let's jump into some NFL draft. Let Gino know the Lakers may win tonight, but the Warriors are taking the series. Respect that. Draft winners and losers. Obviously, this is a fun exercise for me. And the thing is like we really can't judge this until like 3 years down the road because we need to see how everything is going to play out.
That's how I feel about every draft grade I see ever. It's like you're never going to know. Like obviously, I'm way more of a college guy. I always think, oh, this guy was amazing in college. I loved watching him. That's just, I'm happy for the guy because I loved watching him in college. I just have that in my mind. But I know more often than not, that's wrong.
Yep. The game doesn't necessarily transcend, and you see these late bloomers. We haven't got to our winners yet. We're going to start off with our losers, but Bobby chimes in. The Colts did well. I agree with that. I think the Colts got some players. All that depends with the pick of Richardson versus Levis. If Levis turns out to be something and Richardson turns out to be a dud, that's what that draft's going to be graded on, basically. If you had a chance to get Levis and you didn't take it. So But I mean, overall, the players they got, I thought they were pretty good. Let's jump on with our losers. Jim, as always, I always let the guest start. Jim,
What a good host.
who's
My first loser, Eric, are the Atlanta Falcons. And I like a decent amount what they picked. But I gotta just go loser overall because they reached for Bijan. They reached for a running back. And I don't know if a team like the Falcons even needs a running back. The style of the offense they have, the guys they had were already getting plenty of yards. They were getting plenty of push. I don't think this team even needed to draft a running back at all. And to take one at 8 overall just seemed crazy to me.
I agree with that 100%. Actually, that goes in one of my future bets I'm going to give out a little bit later. They have plenty of needs. You know, they could have gone with Gonzalez. They had some offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carter was obviously there, and we really don't know what's going on with him. But to draft a rookie running back that high when you just had a rookie running back put over 1,000 yards really doesn't make that much sense to me.
Exactly. I think Bijan's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. I think he'll be good. I think he's going to thrive in the offense, but you don't need him. It's just
it doesn't
I
really.
Need it. It hurts me, and I assume it hurts you as someone who's holding a Falcons future.
Yeah, someone that is holding a Falcons future, it absolutely hates me. Make or break it for Ritter, though. Obviously, when you have picks. Kyle Pitts,
he's the guy.
London, and Bijan. This is a win now. If you don't win now, you're out, kid. Let's make some money. 69. Jim, what do I bet in the XFL championship?
Oh boy, it depends what lines you're getting. I mean, I like the Renegades and the points. I think Eric and me both. I don't know if Eric jumped on it, but I'm sitting on Renegades 14-1 future. So, if anything, maybe the under.
Yeah, I'll definitely be on the first half under.
First half under for sure. I think that's probably the best one. I wish they had props. I really wish they had props.
I really wish they had props too. I really wish next year these books offer props on these spring leagues. My loser, and I hate saying this. Let me turn this around, Jim. The Detroit Lions are my first draft loser. I was
going to put them in there too.
I don't like taking a running back this high, especially someone you could have got later in the round or even the second round. Plus, after the pick, it wasn't rocket science to know they're going to be trading DeAndre Swift, which hurt his draft value. I know he's had injuries. He hasn't lived up to the hype. And I know Deuce Staley, who was his number one cheerleader, who is really high in him, is in Carolina right now. And they have some running back questions. You're telling me if this was your plan, you couldn't call down to Carolina and say, hey, you know what? We'll give you him, throw us a fourth. But instead, we're trading him in a seventh for a fifth. Just absolutely just doesn't make sense to me. Why, if you're going to do this, why don't you not get ahead of the 8-ball? Because nobody had him going that high. The only thing that makes sense to me was this was kind of a panic type play because they didn't think Seattle was going to take Witherspoon. Maybe they envisioned Witherspoon being there, Seattle taking Wilson. Thus, they were able, you know what I mean? Maybe it was a panic type move.
Maybe, but similar situation. I guess maybe they're thinking this is the running back of the future. Like him and Montgomery are the new duo. And I think, again, similar to the Falcons, I think Gibbs will thrive in that offense. I love Jahmyr Gibbs as a player. But I don't, not needed. You reach for him, and then you trade away Swift, where, just like you said, you could have gotten something for him.
And then you draft Campbell, who you could have got it in the second round. There's no way he was going in the first.
Yeah, I don't know why their first round was just bizarre to me.
And then you draft Laporta, and don't get me wrong, they needed a tight end, but Mayer was on the board. If Mayer busts out and Laporta is not it, those two are always going to be connected, kind of like those quarterbacks are at the beginning of the draft. You get Branch, great pick. Absolutely love him. You're adding him with Joseph to that safety, phenomenal young tandem of safeties. Absolutely love that pick. That was their best pick by far, not even close. Then you draft a 26-year-old quarterback coming off a major knee injury. I get if he didn't get hurt, he was going to win the Heisman. I get that. I understand that. I comprehend that. But guess what? He got hurt. You know what I mean? That boom, that's it. He got hurt. And now you're talking about re-upping Goff. It's like, what is going on right here? Martin, they got a good filler in the middle. Obviously, with all the gambling going on in the wide receiver room, picking up Green was a great pick. But look, dude, I'm not too excited with what the Lions did, and I am going to be fading my team to start the season, and it hurts me to say that.
I don't hate the Hooker pick. It's similar to how I feel about the Lions at all. I don't hate a lot of their picks. I wish they would have picked them later,
Yeah.
Like if they just would have traded a bunch and just gotten a buttload more picks and taken these guys maybe 7 picks down for some, a round later for others, I think it would have been a good draft. But the reaches are what gets it to me.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Like if they would have done that, I would have been fine with that. I hate the Lakers, didn't want to pay Swift. That was probably it. He's coming up on the extension and everything.
I get it. Like I don't hate the Gibbs pick, but again, it's a reach.
Yeah. Oh, total reach. Total reach. Jim, next loser.
Next loser for me. I mean, I will say that, just as an aside, I'll say the Dolphins just because they didn't have any picks, so you're kind of coming out a loser just with picks. Okay. They're a loser to me, but I love this team. I love how fun they are to watch, and I love the player that they picked. But I think the Chargers.
Yeah.
Like, I love Quentin Johnston as much as the next guy, maybe even more so. But you're basically drafting the same receivers you already have.
Yeah.
And
I
get
that.
It. I love Jordan McFadden. I love that they picked up Max Duggan. I just love that for just me loving Max Duggan. And Scott Matlock is a good pick late. But again, a lot of this just comes down to the first round. Why not just trade up or try and get like Zay Flowers or a speedster?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. I wasn't that big on the Chargers. I think I'm not a big Quentin Johnson fan, and in fact, they could have drafted
so much college.
They could have drafted Zay. Zay was drafted,
exactly,
which makes zero sense. I had Zay as my number 1 wide receiver.
I love Quentin Johnston just because TC. I loved him. He was so fun to watch. Dude. He's so good.
Packers draft thoughts.
Classic Packers draft. I don't know.
Van Ness. Kind of depends if he's able to get it. Never really started. Is he gonna be able to get to the quarterback? Not really. What'd you think of Musgrave?
He's good. He's good.
Good blocker. I don't think he's going to be that much of a factor in the passing game. I was a little shocked Jalen Reed went this early. But he's good, but how can I word this? Maybe he'll do better with a quarterback.
He could.
You know what I mean? Maybe he'll do better. And that's the word on the street, little Michigan State gossip, that opposing coaches are telling Coleman, who just transferred, hey, Jalen Reed, he would have gone first round if he had a better quarterback throwing him the ball. And that's why Coleman's transferred. That's the word on the street, what I'm getting. My next one, and this is going to shock some people. I'm going and this is just based on what I think. I'm going the Carolina Panthers. I will give them credit. They traded up to get the guy they wanted. But did they draft the right guy? I had CJ Stroud, QB1 on my board. Everyone talks about how small Kyler Murray is. Bryce Young is 30 pounds smaller than him. 30 pounds.
Do you think smaller. In modern day NFL, with how much they protect the quarterback, it's that big of a deal?
I do, just because if you can't see, you get hit. You know what I mean? It's a more physical game. He's not going to have.
Is it more physical for the quarterbacks in the NFL?
Yeah, these guys get popped. Your boy Tua. No, and I'm not knocking him because he's Tua. He's a small dude, but he's still bigger than Young. And we've seen him take hits, and there was rumors he was going to retire.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I agree with you that they do protect the quarterback, but on the flip side,
you do have bigger guys chasing after you.
If your bigger guy hits you and you take that bump, it's going to hurt and you could go down. Now, granted, you know what? If he's able to withstand the physical play, it's a great pick. He's a winner. The kid knows how to win.
Oh, yeah.
But if he can't withstand the physical play, that's what's going to cost them. Second round, they drafted Mingo, the wide receiver out of Ole Miss, to pair with Young. And look, dude, I like the idea of that. I like the idea of getting a wide receiver to pair with him. But I think Mims, Hyatt, or Tillman, who are still on the board, would have been a better wide receiver to pair with Terrence Marshall. And let's not forget, they also need O-lineman help and the best center and arguably maybe even the best offensive lineman in the draft. John Michael Schmitz was still on the board. You drafted the kid Johnson. Johnson in college only had 50 pressures. You only had 50 pressures in 4 years at college, and you're telling me you're going to be able to create pressure at the NFL level? I think I'm missing something, dude. I don't with that Johnson pick. That's why.
You know what, Eric? You're turning me around. You're turning me around. The Panthers had a bad draft. I thought they had a decent one before. You know what? You're turning me around.
I'm passionate. I'm passionate about the NFL draft. God damn it. I got my notes right here, dude. I could talk all day.
My only issue with Bryce Young is I'm worried. Like you said, I think he's going to be fantastic until he gets hurt.
Yeah, I mean the kid's a winner, and unfortunately he's small. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Winners. Let's talk some winners. You know what? People like to hear positive. I need to be more of a positive person. Tell me some winners.
I mean, Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, obviously, dude.
Like, I just think getting Zay Flowers, you sign Lamar, you get him a great receiver. That receiving room is really good now. And then I like getting it's still in my head, Clemson defensive players, getting a guy like Trenton Simpson. I just love seeing that. It's just consistent. They still have the Brett Venables, like, juju on them. And, I don't know, Tavius Robinson, I think, can be really good, too. I like what the Ravens did.
I like what the Ravens did, and, you know.
It's every year.
It's just like butter every year. My draft winner, the Arizona Cardinals. They got an athletic, versatile lineman in Johnson. They added gains in the later rounds, thus helping one of their bigger needs. Then, with the selection of Ojolaro, which I totally slaughtered, the edge rusher from LSU, and Williams, they added potential day one starters that will improve a struggling defense. But the most impressive thing to me is this, dude. They will have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. They still have DeAndre Hopkins, who they can flip for 2, 3. You know, God knows how many picks they'll be able to flip for D-Hop if they do elect to trade him. He's at the Cardinals facility working out as of today. Plus, Kyler Murray has a major injury. They're not going to be that good this year. So they're going to have a high pick. They're immediately in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. And then they have the Texans first round pick too. If the Texans suck, it is possible they could have the 1 and 2 picks next year, or the 1 and 3. That would be insane. So they're in a pretty good position moving forward. And they're the front runner to land Caleb Williams, who you and I both agree best college quarterback last year.
He would have gotten 1 overall this year.
Yeah. So I mean, they're getting ahead of the rebuild that is coming pretty quick in Arizona. So I'll give them props. They're ahead of the ball in my eyes.
I like that move, Eric.
Look at me, dude. Look at me. I'm taking a team. I'm being positive. This feels
Being
good.
Positive is a new look for you.
I know. I'm usually not this. I'm usually a negative Nancy.
It's a good look. I see your wrinkles disappearing. I see like your face is glowing.
I know. I'm like bickering with hope, dude. Because
the draft is rubbed off on you.
Because I know, you know what I know? And this, like, anyone that follows me, I don't bet like the good teams. I bet the dog shit teams. And I already know I'm going to be betting a lot of Arizona Cardinals games next year.
You don't just bet them. You seem to love them too.
I know. I'm slowly becoming an Arizona Cardinals fan right now before your very eyes, Jimbo.
Disgusting.
Jib, who is your other winner, my friend?
I feel like we're very high on bird teams, and my other winner is the Eagles. I feel like you draft Jalen Carter, the Eagles just able to get basically Georgia's defense, which was a historically great defense, shouldn't be fair.
Now,
I think Carter's going to be good. He has off the field issues. But, man, if they get that right, if he plays to his ability, holy shit.
Is he going to go to jail, though?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? And they got Nolan Smith on us.
And Nolan Smith.
And
And Keely Ringo.
And they bring it in. What's his face? Swift,
Yeah.
excuse me. And you know what?
They are the Super Bowl runner-up, and they get a draft like this just blows my mind.
Well, so let me ask you this. Looking at all the NFL players there are, who would you say is the biggest man of the people in the NFL?
Man of the people.
Like you could see, like if you were to go to your local pub in your Nebraska town and you see him there, it wouldn't shock you. You could be like, yeah.
Well, now that he's in the NFL, it's Stetson Bennett.
No, current player.
Okay.
What
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
If we're going I'm trying to combine big name with that. Probably Josh Allen.
Guess who was in the crowd just doing beers with people at the NFL draft?
Who was it?
Jason Kelce.
That's so awesome. I love the Kelceys.
Just in with the people, doing beer, drinking beer. He was like holding a beer in his mouth, signing autographs. I mean, just a man of the people, dude. I absolutely love that guy. My winner, and I'm going away from the birds. The New York Football Giants.
I like it.
I'm high on Banks. He'll start from day one. Tall, has speed. He can shadow a wide receiver, play on the outside. Great pick to help that secondary. If you watched last week's show with Sterling, him and I talked for like 15 minutes about how high we are on John Michael Schmitz. 10-year starter in the league, will immediately make the offensive line better. Him coming in, being that starting center. And then you needed a wide receiver. You drafted Jalen Hyatt, who won the Bilikikoff Award in the 3rd round, a vertical threat that can high point a ball and gives Dable the outside weapon that is needed in his. Added Gray from Oklahoma, good security blanket for Barkley if he holds out or gets hurt. Little undersized, bendable system. He's a great fit. 6th round, they drafted Hawkins, who will start on day one on special teams. Good backup in the secondary. Drafted Riley in the 7th round. Huge interior guy that will eat up space. And with their last pick, they took a flyer on Owens, who's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal in coverage, but you can't make a tackle to save his life. If this kid learns how to tackle, you get him in the 7th round, he's a potential starter in a couple years if he learns to tackle. This is a home run draft by the Giants, and they're building going in the right direction. I absolutely love what the Giants did.
I like the Giants draft a lot. Speaking of Owens, yes, I would not be surprised in the slightest if in like 3 or 4 years he's a starter.
He just needs to learn how to tackle. I mean, This kid elite in coverage, but I don't know if he could bring me down in the open field.
Yeah, he specialized in one factor, and now he forgot the fundamentals.
Now, everyone's here to make some money. We're going to switch over to the betting aspect of the show. Obviously, we always give out a future. I have a juicy 40-1 future, Jim. I absolutely love. Jim, what is your future?
God damn it, Eric. Now I need to have a big one.
Juicy future.
It's not that big, but it's 12-1. I'm just
okay. I respect that.
It's the Ravens to win the AFC.
Oh,
they're in win now mode. This is the make it or break it year for Lamar. He needs to do it now. They got him the weapons. I think this is the year that you see the Ravens kind of come up.
I like that. I'm obviously going to pick them to win the Super Bowl. I always pick them to win the Super Bowl. They're always like 20-1 and always break my heart.
Yep. I will probably also do that.
My future bet, hold on to your horses. Jalen Hyatt, rookie of the year, 40-1. Now let's just look at the people in front of him. Look at the people in front of him. Bijan Robinson competing with Tyler Algier for carries. We don't know, you know what I mean? He's going to be competing with him. He's not going to get every carry. Smith Najir competing with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett for targets. Johnson for the Chargers has drop issues competing with Keenan Allen and Michael Williams. Jordan Addison going to Minnesota. He's going to be competing with Justin Jefferson, Zay Flowers competing with Mark Andrews, Odell Beckham Jr. for targets, and Lamar has issues throwing the ball. Cabernet competing with Walker for carries. Josh Downs competing with Pittman for targets and relying either on a rookie quarterback in Richardson or Gardner Minshew to throw him the ball. And then you got
whoa. I mean, that's fair, but cool it on that.
I'm not a Minshew guy, my man.
I understand why.
Then you got Jalen Hyatt, who's going to be with one of the best offensive minds in the NFL and will be the number 1 wide receiver. And I'm getting 40-1. I'm getting 40-1 on that, Jim. That's an absolute no-brainer. Lock me in. 40-1. Jalen Hyatt, offensive rookie of the year.
Don't hate it. I don't hate that at all.
I love it. I love it. Jim, we're going to talk some betting now. You know, we have our 2 future NFL bets, absolute musts. Let's talk some betting. We each have 2 bets. Jim, what's your first bet?
Oh, these NFL bets, or are these just anything?
Anything. Any bet you want. It could be Japanese basketball.
Can I just tell what I'm doing where every MLB game no hit in the first inning? It's been doing pretty good for me.
All right. Bet one. No hit in every MLB game. My first bet, I
might round robin it tomorrow because not everyone's hit, but they've been on a pretty good click.
I'm going to go in the bounce back spot, game 3. Give me the Phoenix Suns. I like them to bounce back. I'm going to be playing the first quarter, first half in the game. Obviously, with the Chris Paul news breaking, this line I feel is going to drop down. We're already seeing some 3.5s in the market. Maybe we'll get to a 3. So I'd hold off in locking this in. Jokic is a little bit banged up, but back against the wall. I'm going to look for some monster adjustments made by Monty Williams. Maybe playing KD at the 5 more, playing more small ball, forcing Joker to go out the perimeter. Also, they need to go more pick and roll with Booker and KD, force the Nuggets to pay for blitzing the pick and roll with Booker. Then, because if you do that, that's going to create a 4-on-3 with KD. And if you back off of them, Booker's going to have the mid-range thing. So I'm going to lock in those 3 bets. First quarter, first half, game, and then also the juicy one, Jimbo. Booker, double-double, going to probably be plus 350. He is averaging 10.3 potential assists per game. Paul's at 12.7. There's no Paul. Booker's going to be playing the point. Give me the book, double-double.
I like that move.
I mean, look
I
at
like
that
move quite a bit.
I just gave out 4 bets in my first bet segment.
That was disgusting.
Last and final bet, Jimbo. Give it to me, big dog.
Okay, last and final bet. I'm gonna take the Knicks, whatever the spread is tomorrow. I'm gonna take the bounce back spot for them. I'm leaning towards the lower seeded team winning the first game, and then just taking whatever the number is in the game 2 for the better team. So I'm gonna be taking the Knicks. I'll probably also be taking the Celtics.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take the Celtics, but I'm gonna take the first quarter. I'm only gonna
like that one.
I'm gonna take the first quarter. We're seeing 3s in the market. I expect Embiid's gonna sit out. I don't expect him to play, and we've seen it. The first quarter, teams usually come out on fire. Knicks push the first quarter one earlier today. I'm going to play the Celtics here to play it. This line will probably be 6 for the first half. That's a little too juicy for me. So I like the Celtics minus the 3 in the first quarter. Absolutely love that spot. Jim, Lamar or Tua, who would you want?
Oh boy, I'm like the biggest Tua stan on the planet. Lamar.
Okay. All right.
You cannot discount the extra oomph he brings with his legs. And I think Lamar's a fine passer.
I like Lamar too. I would definitely give it to Lamar. I'm just not a Tua guy. I don't think Tua is that good. I'll say it.
I know you will. You say it all the time and it pisses me off.
But at least I own it though. and I've said this since day one. I don't go back and forth, Jim. I've been
No. I
I
respect you for standing your ground. I just hate you.
And yes, Bobby knows me quite well. I am a Tua hater, and I own it.
Always have been, always will be.
Jim, I'd like to thank you for coming on, my man. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media?
You can find me everywhere at XFL Jim. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Weekly I live stream literally every XFL and USFL game. So tune in on those. It's gonna be great. It's fun times.
Are you live streaming this weekend or are you moving?
I am live streaming this weekend. We got some USFL. Hopefully, I'll already be moved in by this weekend.
Oh, look at that. Jimbo making a move. We're not going to talk about the video that you posted on YouTube. This is a kid-friendly show.
I love Blob. That's all you need to know. The
Jim,
Philadelphia Stars mascot.
Jim, thanks for coming on. For those looking for some CFL draft reaction, some XFL thoughts.
Oh, those will happen.
Some USFL bets. Jim and I are going to be live about this time tomorrow on Spring Fever. We'll be talking everything spring football. Make sure to check that out. I'll talk to you then, my friend, and everyone. We'll be back here next week. Let's make some money.
Ooh, yeah.